Guys, this story is beyond any of the gorillatag horror stories I've read on the channel by far. This person would like to go by the name Preston for his protection. I will also be reading this story in his point of view. Before I start, I also get a lot of comments to where people think this stuff is happening to me. So I'd just like to address those comments and say that these stories are all sent to me by viewers. If you'd like a chance at your story being read on here on the channel, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. Alright, and now for the story. I love you all, enjoy. Out of me and my group of friends, I'm the only one who seems to want to share this story. Let me introduce myself. Hello, everyone listening. I'm Preston. My friends told me they didn't want to be named. I've been trying to tell this story to anyone willing to listen for months and months, but my friends don't want me to. I'm using this as a last resort because I really want people to know what happened that night. The date was October 30th, 2022. Me and my group of friends had the bright idea to play gorilla tag at 3 a.m. Even that didn't sound spooky enough to us, so we decided to spice it up a little. We've been seeing more and more people making videos playing outside with their Oculus Quests, and since it would be dark, we wouldn't be risking damage to our headsets from the sun. So that was the plan. Me and my group of friends stay up until 3 a.m., sneak out to the park, and with just enough light coming from the street light across the street, our tracking inside our headsets would work. Did I also mention this is the day before Halloween? Even more spooky. One last thing to add. It's our freshman year of high school, so all of us are pretty tiny. We wouldn't be able to protect ourselves from any dangers we come across out in the world at 3 a.m. The time is now 2:30 a.m. We start drinking Monster energy drinks to fuel up for our adventure. It's a 13-minute walk to the park. We live in a semi-country area, so everything is spread out a little bit, but not too much. There's a good quarter mile or so between houses, so it's safe to say we're in a low-populated area. Anyways, on we went. Our walk to the park officially started. The time was around 2:50 a.m. when we left. All of us with our backpacks on, which carried our headsets, drinks, snacks, and a few sharp objects I won't specifically name. Just in case, you know? The walk is as creepy as ever. We knew it would be scary, but considering it's pitch black outside, coyotes in the distance yelping, and a singular street light every half mile made it even scarier than we thought it would be. Which is okay, because there's 5 of us, including me. As we're nearing the park, we crouch down and scout the area, making sure there's no one around. Absolutely nothing, except a pitch black darkness. A single street light giving enough light to reach the park, and a very old, rusty playground. We all get up and walk the rest of the way to the park. It was so quiet. No bugs chirping, no nothing. We couldn't hear the coyotes anymore. Just complete silence. As my friends are putting on their headsets, spreading out just a little to set their boundaries, I get the most eerie feeling. Everyone's already loading into gorilla tag while I stand there, examining the entire area once more before I decide to put my headset on and load into gorilla tag. Like before, it was clear. I forgot to mention this park had a bathroom, which every park does usually. A double-sided one side for the guys and the other for the girls. Just the bathroom, right? Well, yes, but it didn't help that it has been shut down for years, and somehow the lights inside still work, flickering, like something out of a horror movie. I wanted to go check the bathrooms just to make sure, but everyone was already playing, so I didn't want to interrupt, and I definitely did not want to go by myself. So I ignored it and put my headset on, loaded up gorilla tag, and joined the private code they were in. As we played Infection, time passed quick. We got lost in the virtual world of gorilla tag, totally losing our sense of what time it was. I opened up my Oculus menu and it was already 3:40 a.m. more or less. I brought it up to the guys and they didn't think much of it. We were having fun, so it didn't really matter. A few more minutes go by and all of our headsets tracking goes out, which happens when there's no light. We all take off our headsets to see nothing but pitch black darkness. The street lamp went out. It wasn't giving off light anymore. The little amount of light we needed for our tracking to work was gone. We waited a few more minutes to see if it would come back on, but it didn't, which meant our 3 a.m. gorilla tech adventure was over. As we put our headsets away and get ready to go, it turns back on. Our heads all turned to the street light and stared at it in disbelief that it turned back on. We all look at each other and decide to stay just for a little longer. We begin to get our headsets out again, put them on, and load gorilla tag. After a minute, our tracking is lost, once again. We all take our headsets off and see nothing but pitch black. The streetlight was off for the second time. We started to get super creeped out, so we decided it was time to go. We packed everything up and began walking toward the street. After about 10 seconds of walking, we hear something from behind us. As we turn, all facing the park bathroom, the light flickering, giving off little to no light. We stood there staring to see if we can see anything, but there was nothing. Just as we were about to start walking again, the streetlight turned back on, shining enough light on the park to see everything clearly. We looked back at the bathrooms and... Oh my god, guys, you see that, right? I told my friends. Standing there at the corner of the bathrooms, hiding the little shade that there was a tall figure, at least 6'5", maybe more. We stood there in shock, not knowing what to do. After staring for a good minute or so, we began to wonder if it was just our eyes playing tricks. Was there actually someone there? The streetlight turned off and we jumped backwards. This was the absolute worst time for the streetlight to turn off. We all got close together, scared, listening to see if we could hear anything. Everything was quiet until... "Guys, run!" I yelled. Whatever it was we saw was running towards us. We started running as fast as we could, the leaves under our feet crunching loudly with every step we took. As we're running, I look behind us and there it is. Now that it's closer, I can see clearly that this thing is not 6'5". It had to have been at least 8 feet tall. Me and my friends were screaming and crying, running as fast as we could down the street. What I heard coming from behind us is nothing I can explain in words clearly, but I can say that it sounded like a mix of a zombie and a demonic voice. Think of that, and then think of it laughing. That's what we were hearing as we ran for our lives. This thing was running after us, laughing, in the most gut-wrenching way. We knew we were dead, until we saw headlights in the distance. Coming around the curve of the road was a car. The thing behind us ran faster and faster, trying to get us, until it was a few feet away. Then, in an instant, it was gone. The car's headlight shined on us as it approached, and the thing behind us was gone. We jumped in front of the car and turned around, looking to see where it was, but it was nowhere to be seen. There was nowhere to hide. To the left and right were empty fields. It was gone, and that's all that mattered. At that moment, the person in the car got out. It was my dad. He yelled at us to get in the car and that we were in big trouble. The rest of the car ride home was a big lecture, you could imagine. I accepted everything he was saying because he was right. When we got back to the house, we all went upstairs and sat there, opened the curtains, and stared out the window. In the distance, at the edge of the field, about 600 feet away, there it was, standing there, taller than before, more slim, like a skeleton, and claws which appeared to be a foot long, maybe even longer. We sat there for half an hour, staring at it silently, until it walked backwards, disappearing from our vision. Ever since that night happened, I've had trouble even going outside during the day. It's safe to say that me and my friends don't go playing gorilla tag outside anymore. Got you guys again. For those of you that saw my last story video, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, that's it for today's story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want a chance at your story being chosen, leave it down in the comments below. Also, I wanted to say that I know I haven't been posting as consistently as I used to, but I promise I'm going to be getting right back on schedule. See you guys. I love you all.